Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Stylist Meets Vinyl. Happy New Year. It is one of the most fun times in the vinyl community right now. The end of the year, you get the best ofs from everybody, all the finds that they found in that year, and then you also, as soon as the clock strikes 12 at New Year's Eve, you start to see those vinyl tag videos come in. If anyone doesn't know what vinyl tag is, it is a series of questions that someone in the vinyl community will release, and everyone will answer the same questions using albums. It's really fun. If you've never done it before, I suggest jumping in and doing it. This was how I started my channel last year. I just thought, hey, this is no better time than now to do it. Rob Walker over at Let the Music Play. Rob has created this year's vinyl tag. He did so last year as well. He kind of stepped up to the plate and released his. Rob, you did a great job this year. I had a lot of fun kind of preparing my answers here. Rob has been a great supporter of this channel. When I did my vinyl tag a few months ago, Rob jumped in and answered it, and he just had nothing but good things to say. He really supported my channel, and Rob, I really appreciate it. So I'm more than happy to do this vinyl tag here for you. I mean, I would have done it anyways, but I'm happy that you were the one who supplied these questions. Okay, let's go. Number one, so there's 20 questions here. We're going to try and go through them. Number one, favorite new release of 2022. Now, admittedly, I didn't buy a lot of new releases this year. I'm still in the process of kind of building my back catalog of classic. I mean, I'm a big classic rock guy, so I'm still trying to find a lot of those albums. But one of the ones that I did really enjoy this year is Arcade Fire, We. This is their newest one, obviously from this year. It is got some really long tracks, like a couple of tracks per side kind of thing. And yeah, this was a great selection, great pickup for the year. Okay, number two, the last band you saw live. So I used to live down in Toronto, and I used to see concerts and shows all the time. And I have since moved away, and obviously the pandemic has been around, so we haven't had a chance to see too many live shows. But in April, I did see my first concert in a long time, which was Big Wreck, But for the Sun. This is a Canadian-American band, one of my favorites, hard rock band. Ian Thornley, great guitarist, amazing vocals. I've always kind of compared his vocals to sort of like Chris Cornell from Soundgarden. Really great, strong vocals, great, strong guitaring. So this was the last band that I saw live. Number three, the first album was their best. A band, their debut album was hard to beat, and the first thing that came to mind for me was Lynyrd Skynyrd. This is the album pronounced Lynyrd Skynyrd. You know what? This is kind of, to me, sort of like a greatest hits of theirs. You've got some real essentials on here. You've got Tuesday's Gone, Give Me 3 Steps, Simple Man, Freebird closes out the album. I mean, honestly, it is great. This is great. It was hard for them to beat that one. Okay, number four, Hat Trick. You're supposed to show a cassette, a CD, and an album. So I'm not a cassette collector. I've never been a cassette collector, but I was able to find a CD that I had as well as the album that I had, and that is Cat Stevens, Teaser and the Firecat, on CD and on vinyl. This is a fantastic, folky, soft rock album from Cat Stevens. Honestly, we love putting this one on in the morning and just kind of drinking some coffee to it. It's great. Okay, next up, number five, an album that starts and ends with the same letter. I was gonna do a joke here and show 2112 by Rush, but I decided not to, so instead I will show Moody Blues, Days of Future Past. Starts with a D, ends with a D. Next up, Born in the Same Year as You. I think Rob wants us to show an artist that was born or like a band member that was born in the same year as you. As I mentioned, I'm a big classic rock guy, and the timelines don't really line up, so I don't have a ton of people that were born in the year I was born, which was 1985. But I will substitute that with an album that was released, an album that was born in 1985, and that is ZZ Top, Afterburner, 1985. Okay, next up, the most listened to album of 2022. This was kind of a hard one for me to answer because I was really trying to think of like, holy crap, I listened to so many albums. There were some I listened to a bunch. I really wish I had the actual metrics, the actual numbers of like which ones I actually listened to. But one of the ones that I got a little bit later in the year and I was spinning nonstop is Rainbow. Long Live Rock and Roll, their last one with Ronnie James Dio right here. One of the albums that I love on here, or one of the songs I love, is Lady of the Lake. Just a fantastic, fantastic song. And there's a really nice, like, soft, even though this is like hard rock kind of metal, there's a really nice soft ballad on here called Rainbow Eyes as well. Great, great. Okay, most listened to artists of 2022. Another tough one for me to kind of pin it down. But you know what? I bought a lot of Pink Floyd albums this year, and I did listen to Pink Floyd a ton. They are one of my favorite bands, if not my favorite band. And one of the ones I picked up was, this is their final album from 2014, The Endless River. I picked up a whole bunch of other Pink Floyds as well, but I wanted to show this one. Pink Floyd. You know what? It's like I never get sick of Pink Floyd. There's so many different albums that I get in the mood for and listen to constantly. So that is my most listened to artist of 2022. Number 9, Australian artist. This is one I picked up, a blind buy at the thrift store. This is Angel City. They're also known as the Angels in Australia. This is Face to Face. A really cool like proto-punk type album. Post-punk, I don't know, I'm not sure the definition, but a really nice find for me, Australian. Okay, number 10, surprising purchase of 2022. Another one I had to give a good think on, and I think the most surprising one for me was this album, Foo Fighters, Wasting Light. This surprised me. I mean, I knew the album well, but this one just sounds so good. Sounds amazing. Easily the best album, the best sounding album that I picked up this year, Wasting Light. It spins at 45 RPMs, double disc, recorded all analog. It's great. If you like Foo Fighters, pick this one up and you won't be disappointed. Okay. Number 11, an artist, band you're complete on. I had a good year this year. I completed actually a couple of ones that were really on my list, but the one that I will show you is this man, Jimi Hendrix. So I got the Jimi Hendrix Experience. That is Are You Experienced? We got Axis, Bold as Love. We've got Electric Ladyland. This is like a 50th anniversary or something like that. And then Band of Gypsies. This was released in the same year that Hendrix passed away. And then of course with Hendrix, you know, after he passed away, they started releasing all these like live albums and just like recordings from different live places. But as far as like albums that he released when he was alive, those are the 4 right there. And I completed that this year when I found Band of Gypsies towards the end of the year. Okay. Number 12, a great run of 3 albums. This is a great question. I love this one. There were a lot of options I could have went with, but I decided to go with Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young. So we have their debut, Crosby, Stills, and Nash. Fantastic folk album. Holy crap. If you don't know this one and you like folk, you got to check this one out. Amazing harmonies, amazing guitaring, just like soft acoustic guitaring on this one. Amazing. From 1969, their debut. I think this was 1970. This is Deja Vu when they added Neil Young into the mix, right? Where is he? Right here, Neil Young. Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, Deja Vu. Another amazing one. This one's a bit more folk rock. That other one is straight folk. And then 1971, Four-Way Street, their live album. Also an amazing live album. This is a double album. If you like CSN, if you like CSNY, those are the 3 you gotta have. And actually, their 4th album, also without Neil Young, just called CSN, also a good one, but not as good as those 3. Okay, the 80s soundtrack. Okay, this one's kind of fun because I haven't shown this one yet. I picked it up right at the end of the year, and it's sort of funny. I'm not a soundtrack guy. I honestly, I kind of have no desire to pick up soundtracks, but I saw this one and I just had to buy it. This was a thrift store find. So this is the Mosquito Coast. So this is like modern classical, and I'm not a classical kind of guy, but I do love Harrison Ford. He's like my favorite actor ever since I was a kid. I loved him. I saw this and I was just like, I gotta have an album with Harrison's face on it. I do have the movie actually too, but what's cool about this one especially is that you'll see, if maybe I'll take it out of here, you'll see right here, if I can show you, it is a promotional copy right here, promo, not for sale. So that was really cool. Just, you know, anytime you can find a promo, it's kind of cool. So that is my 80s soundtrack. Okay, we lost him in 2022, an artist that died. I'm going with Alan White, the drummer from, you know, many different projects, but he was the drummer of Yes after Bill Bruford left, and this is Yes Songs. I think this is around 1973, and I think what I remember reading about this is that Alan White had to learn, like they brought him in after Bruford left. This is the first album that he actually, no. He was on Tales of Topographic Oceans. Forget what I'm saying. Anyways, Alan White, drummer for Yes. We lost him this year. Okay, next up, disappointing purchase of 2022. So I'm going to show Black Sabbath Volume 4. This is an original Canadian pressing of Black Sabbath Volume 4 with the kind of booklet here. Why was this disappointing? This is a great album, but I bought it from somebody who was just selling records, and I just didn't look at it close enough, and it has got a warp in just an edge warp, but it's enough to make both like side A1 and B1 songs are just unplayable. So that was a disappointment. Okay, non-vinyl purchase. Okay, I'm gonna show my Beatles. This is the Beatles anthology book. This is actually not a purchase. This was a gift by my sister. But, you know, everything you can want in Beatles history is right here. The tons of articles, pictures, stories, letters. Amazing. Beatles anthology, non-vinyl purchased. Number 17, You Found a Grail. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I'm still kind of filling up my back catalog of records, just filling some holes that I think are really necessary for me to own. So I'm not really searching for any grails. However, there was one, I guess you could kind of call it a grail, one album that I've been searching for a long time, like 3-4 years I've been searching for, is Led Zeppelin 3. This is an original Canadian first pressing. It's got the working pinwheel here. A lot of them are hard to find with the pinwheel intact, but this pinwheel does work. You can kind of see barely that it's spinning here. And so what's unique about this one is that I wanted a good copy because it's a softer album by Zeppelin, and also the Canadian original with the Red Atlantic label is considered by some, or by many, to be one of the best sounding albums, best sounding versions of this album. It's got the TG in the runout, and this one has the TG, and it does indeed sound very, very good. So this was a mini grail for me to find. I've been searching for this for years. Finally found it right at the end of the year. Great find. Okay, space-themed album. I am going with Star Castle. This is a proggy, very prog. The mix of like Kansas and Yes. I know my friend Frank will be happy that I'm showing this one. And you know, castles in the sky with the stars. This is space themed. Okay, next up, show some VCLT or a present. I had a really nice little VCLT exchange with my friend Rob at Northern Revolutions. He sent me a few albums this year. One of them was this one, the band Stage Fright. Really great condition with the this kind of like outer little fold sleeve that is not easily found when you find it. Okay, so that was VCLT. Go check out Rob's channel as well, Northern Revolutions, if you haven't already. And then number 20, show an album released in 1973. I'm going with Roy Buchanan, That's What I Am Here For, 1973 release. This is his third album. This is a blues rock album. Roy Buchanan, good guitarist. I don't really hear him spoken about much in the VC. This is on the Polydor, Red Polydor label. But yeah, 1973, really nice album. Okay, that's it for my vinyl tag for 2023. If you enjoyed it, consider giving it a like, consider subscribing. Whatever you do, make sure you come right back here where Stylus meets vinyl. Thanks, everyone. Happy New Year.